Okay, let's talk memory lane for a second. Do you remember that sound? That awful grinding screech of a dial-up modem?
Oh, absolutely. Painful, like nails on a chalkboard, but digital.
Right. And if you remember that, you definitely remember the waiting. Just waiting for maybe a tiny postage stamp-sized video window to maybe buffer.
Inch by agonizing inch, yeah.
Yeah.
And you knew, best case, you'd get maybe 30 seconds before it just froze.
Okay.
Solid.
It feels like ancient history now, doesn't it? Because today, you tap a button, maybe on your phone, and bam, instant 4K movie. Seamless.
It's magic, basically. But it wasn't magic, obviously. It was this incredible technological and cultural journey.
That's what we're diving into today. How did we get from that dial-up nightmare to, well, this instant on-demand world that's completely reshaped, everything?
It's a huge story, more than just tech. It's about big corporate bets, massive cultural shifts, intense competition. We can kind of break it down. Think of it like a four-act play.
A four-act play. I like that. Okay, let's kick off Act I, the dial-up dreams. This is the 90s, right? The idea is there, but reality isn't cooperating.
Not even close. That's the key thing here, the viability gap. People wanted video online. The concept of digitized video wasn't science fiction, but the actual physics. Impossible for mass adoption.
Why? What was the core problem?
Simple math, really. Video files, even low-quality ones, were huge, megabytes. And your connection, your typical home connection was maybe, 56 kilobits per second?
Dial-up speeds, yeah. Tiny.
Exactly. Trying to push those massive files down those tiny pipes, it just didn't work on any kind of scale. It was like trying to drain a swimming pool through a drinking straw.
And there's that perfect anecdote that illustrates just how bad it was. The band. Severe tire damage.
Right, severe tire damage. In 1993, they did what's often called the first ever live stream. Groundbreaking stuff.
But the video itself was rough.
Oh, incredibly rough. Tiny resolution, maybe 152 pixels across, barely watchable today. But here's the kicker, the truly staggering part.
Yeah.
That one single grainy stream. It used up nearly half of the entire internet's available bandwidth at that moment.
Wait, half? Just for that one stream?
Half the global internet bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it instantly showed, okay, this cool idea. It's completely impossible for, everyone without a fundamental change in the underlying infrastructure.
Wow. That just puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
So that's the viability gap right there. Yet some companies did try, right? Like real networks.
They did. And they proved something important. Niche audiences would tolerate a terrible experience if the content was unique enough. Think like sports fans desperate for a game they couldn't get otherwise.
They'd suffer through the buffering.
Exactly. They'd put up with it. But it was always niche. It couldn't scale. The technology was there, sort of. But the bandwidth, the infrastructure everyone needed, miles away. A failure of scale.
So things had to change fundamentally. Bandwidth needed to get way better, which it slowly did. And that brings us to, Act 2 around 2005.
Right, 2005. This is the platform for revolution. And the big name here, the one that shifted the culture, is YouTube.
YouTube, which back then wasn't about slick professional content at all.
No, not at all. That was its genius, its simplicity. It wasn't technically revolutionary in 2005. What was revolutionary was the idea. Hey, regular people, upload your home videos, anything, for free.
Total focus on user-generated stuff. And the model was key too, right? Free, supported by ads. AVOD.
AVOD, yeah. Advertising video on demand, completely different from trying to sell or rent individual clips. Just open the floodgates, let people share, put ads on it.
And it just exploded. Went viral almost instantly. Google obviously saw the potential, paying that huge $1.65 billion in 2006.
A massive validation. But the really deep long-term impact beyond, funny cat videos was its role in what we can call the great unbundling of journalism.
The great unbundling. Okay, what does that mean exactly? How did YouTube unbundle journalism?
Okay, think about it historically. To report news globally, to get images and stories out there, you needed an institution, a news network, a major newspaper. Think BBC, CNN, New York Times. You need their resources, their credibility, their distribution.
The traditional gatekeepers.
Precisely. YouTube smashed that model. It essentially separated the act of reporting, capturing video, telling a story from the institution of the newsroom. And it did this by empowering two new, really powerful forces.
Okay, let's break those down. Force number one.
Force one. The citizen journalist as a geopolitical actor. Suddenly, anyone with a phone could capture footage of an event. Raw, unedited eyewitness video.
And upload it instantly.
Instantly, bypassing government censors, bypassing official narratives. This raw footage became a primary source in world events. We saw it dramatically in the Arab Spring. Activists were sharing videos that completely contradicted what state media was showing.
Giving a direct view, unfiltered.
Unfiltered, yeah. And it created this undeniable record. We've seen it again and again since. Think about the Black Lives Matter movement. Smartphone videos became absolutely crucial evidence driving the conversation about accountability.
And even now, in conflicts like the war in Ukraine.
Absolutely. YouTube and similar platforms are acting as this vast, real-time, open-source archive. Eyewitnesses are documenting potential war crimes, getting that information out globally, almost instantaneously. It's a fundamental shift in who controls the flow of information. Power moving from the central news desk to the individual on the ground.
A staggering shift, truly. Okay, so that's the citizen journalist. What's Force 2?
Force 2, the rise of the independent creator journalist. These are individuals, professionals building entire news operations around their personal brand directly on platforms like YouTube.
So not just random citizens, but people making a career of it outside the old institutions.
Exactly. They operate differently. Their funding often comes directly from their audience through things like Patreon, memberships, channel monetization. This gives them a degree of editorial independence from corporate media pressures or traditional advertising concerns.
And they build direct trust with their viewers.
They do. And in doing so, they directly challenge the authority, the sort of established dominance of those big legacy news organizations we mentioned earlier. It's a whole new ecosystem for news.
Okay, so YouTube revolutionizes the free, user-generated, and eventually the news space. But what about professional long-form stuff?
Yeah.
Movies, TV shows, that required another leap.
It did. And that brings us to Act 3, the on-demand era, kicking off around 2007, and the company that made the leap. Surprisingly, it was Netflix.
Which is fascinating because Netflix, back then, was all about DVDs by mail, right? A hugely successful physical media business.
Hugely successful, profitable, dominant in that space, which makes what they did next incredibly audacious. In 2007, they launched Watch Now, their streaming service.
And that sounds like betting against yourself.
It was. It was a conscious act of corporate courage. They chose to actively, intentionally cannibalize their own core business, their cash cow DVD rentals.
Why take such a massive risk?
Because they saw the future. They understood technology waits for no one. If they didn't disrupt themselves, someone else inevitably would. But their real innovation wasn't just streaming itself, it was the model.
The SVOD model.
Exactly. Subscription video on demand, one flat monthly fee, and you get access to the entire library, all you can eat.
Which was totally different from pay-per-view or renting individual digital files.
Totally different. It removed the friction. And that simple model flat fee, unlimited access, directly led to a cultural phenomenon, binge watching. It changed how we consume serialized stories.
But for that binge watching, that seamless experience to actually work for millions of people with different internet speeds, that required something under the hood, right? The tech had to catch up.
Oh, absolutely. This is where we get to the real secret sauce that made the whole SVOD dream viable. It's a technology called adaptive bitrate streaming, ABR.
ABR. Okay, break that down. Why was that so crucial?
Because in 2007, home internet was still wildly inconsistent. You might have decent speed in a city, but someone in a rural area might have much, much slower service. One-size-fits-all streaming wouldn't work.
Right, if you tried to send a high-def stream to a slow connection.
Buffering. Endless buffering. The same old problem from the 90s, just maybe slightly faster buffering. ABR solved this elegantly. Okay, think of it like this. The server doesn't just hold one version of the movie file. It holds multiple versions, encoded at different quality levels, say a low-res version, a standard def, an HD, a 4K version.
Got it. Multiple copies.
Right. And the ABR player on your device is constantly checking your internet speed in real time, millisecond by millisecond.
It's monitoring your connection.
Exactly. If your connection is great, it pulls down the highest quality stream, the 4K version. But if, say, someone else in your house starts a huge download and your bandwidth suddenly drops...
the Wi-Fi struggle.
The ABR instantly detects that drop and almost seamlessly switches to requesting the lower quality chunks of video, maybe the standard def version.
So the video doesn't stop, it just gets a bit less sharp temporarily.
Precisely. It prioritizes playing over perfect quality. Then, as soon as your bandwidth recovers, it automatically switches back up to the higher quality stream, all happening instantly, behind the scenes.
That's clever. So ABR is what finally delivered the reliability needed for a subscription model to actually work at scale.
Absolutely critical. Without ABR, the Netflix SVOD model probably fails. It goes back to being too frustrating. ABR closed that viability gap for professional, long-form content.
Okay, so Netflix cracks the code with SVOD and ABR. This sets the stage for, well, for today.
Yeah.
Act 4, the streaming wars.
Indeed. The modern era of hyper-competition. And the real trigger wasn't just Netflix streaming existing content. It was Netflix deciding to become a content creator. That pivot happened in 2013.
House of Cards.
House of Cards, a big-budget original series. That moment changed everything. Netflix went from being a tech company licensing content to being a full-blown Hollywood studio.
And that terrified everyone else.
It kicked off the arms race. Suddenly, Amazon, Apple, Hulu, everyone realized they couldn't just license stuff anymore. They had to make their own original shows and movies, spending billions and billions of dollars to compete.
And the traditional players, the big studios and networks like Disney.
They had this horrifying realization. They looked at Netflix, this giant competitor, and realized they had essentially fueled its growth. They'd been, as some executives later admitted, willingly and stupidly licensing their crown jewels, their best movies, their hit TV shows, directly to the company that was now eating their lunch.
A massive strategic blunder in hindsight.
Huge. So what did they do? They reacted. They started pulling all their valuable content back from Netflix.
And launching their own services.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, HBO Max, Peacock.
Exactly. Everyone launched their own walled garden, which leads directly to the situation we're in now, the tough part for you, the consumer. The great fragmentation.
Right, where suddenly the shows you want are scattered across half a dozen different subscriptions.
The market is balkanized. You need multiple subscriptions, the costs add up. And now, to try and make the numbers work, what are we seeing? Price hikes everywhere.
And ads. Lots of ads coming back, even on services you pay for.
Yep. The return of ad-supported tiers, even within subscription services. It's
Yeah.
almost like we're looping back towards the old AVOD model, just that you're paying more for it now.
It really does feel like a full circle sometimes.
Mhm.
Okay, let's try and pull this all together. This 4-act play of streaming history, what are the key takeaways for you, the listener?
Well, looking back, Act 1, the 90s.
Taught us that desire outpaced infrastructure. The dream was there, but the tech, the bandwidth, just wasn't ready. That viability gap was real.
Then Act 2, 2005 with YouTube. The lesson was simplicity trumps professionalism for mass information sharing. It democratized video and started that great unbundling of journalism. Citizen reporting became a force.
Act 3, 2007, Netflix's big move. We learned that reliability is the foundation of SVOD. The subscription model only worked because ABR technology made the experience seamless, finally killing the buffering problem for most people.
And finally, Act 4, the streaming wars from 2013 to now. The big lesson. Ownership is the ultimate kingmaker. Creating and owning exclusive content became the key to survival in this fragmented, high-stakes market.
It's clear this whole journey, from dial-up to Disney plus F, it's way more than just how we watch movies. It's fundamentally about access to information, who controls the stories, who controls the culture.
It really is. It's reshaped our daily schedules, our shared cultural moments, the entire economics of creating anything visual. But this path from buffering to binging leaves us wrestling with a really interesting question now, especially with this great fragmentation.
What's the final thought for us to chew on?
Well, think about it. Video streaming wired the world for instant visual connection. It changed everything. But now, as all this content, news, documentaries, vital cultural information gets scattered behind more and more paywalls across dozens of competing services, does that fragmentation itself start to limit our shared understanding? Does it make it harder to access a common baseline of information, of truth, when it's all sliced up by business models? It's something to consider next time you're scrolling through your 5 different streaming apps, just trying to find that one documentary everyone's talking about.